If you're watching this video, just know, your mental health matters, your life matters, and of course, you matter. I, BC King, care about you. Welcome back to Gaming Hot Takes, a series where I read your hottest takes about various video games. In today's video, I'll be reading your hottest takes about Super Smash Bros. Melee. As always, hot takes can be positive things, negative things, praises, criticisms, controversial opinions, or anything in between, so with that said, let us get right into your hot takes. Wait a minute, hold on. Before we start, I gotta give a very special shout out to my sponsor for this video, Fluffle. If you adore anime plushies, graduation plushies, and more, then this website is for you. Use the code BCKing15 to save 15% on your first purchase. And use the link that is in the description. And come on, who wouldn't want one of these things? These things are amazing. Go get yourself a plushie because they're amazing. With that said, now let's get into the video. I think the Melee trophies are one of the best and coolest achievement systems in video games because it's essentially a Nintendo Pokédex, and as great as Ultimate is, that was a massive loss for the franchise. Oh, I for sure agree. I like the spirits in Smash Bros. Ultimate, but the trophies were so much cooler. You know, their designs, the descriptions of what the character is. That was always cool to go into the trophy gallery and look up characters I haven't ever seen before, and based on their trophy, the trophies would like have descriptions as far as like what the character is, who they are, what series they're from, all that good stuff. I think 3DS and Wii U had the best because they had like the trophy, what do you call it, the museum where you could like display your trophies in various like little trophy boxes. That was kind of cool. So yeah, I do miss that. I do maybe hope that if the next Smash game is lesser than Ultimate, which I don't want it to be, but it probably will be, that they can bring back trophies and bring back those awesome descriptions and designs. The Final Smash ones were always cool, the Final Smash trophies, so, I don't know, but I agree, they were a really cool feature, and again, you put it really great here, a Nintendo Pokédex. It's basically like the history of Nintendo, plus third-party franchises as well, like Metal Gear and Sonic, and then the stuff in Wii U and 3DS as well, so, I agree, it is a really cool feature. I hope it comes back, but if it does come back, then I think it would only come back if the next Smash game is a lesser package than Ultimate, because, again, Ultimate was just so big in scope, they couldn't do the trophies. It would take way too long to design them and write descriptions for every single one of them. So I get why they didn't do it, but yeah, I would like to see that back, but that does come at the cost of a smaller Smash game. I don't like the roster, man. Too many clones. Why they put in Dr. Mario before Wario, Waluigi, or Diddy Kong is beyond me. Also, putting in the Fire Emblem characters was a huge mistake in hindsight. Oh, man, if only you knew that the clones would get worse in Brawl, and 3DS and Wii U, and especially Ultimate. Like, man, if only you knew what was coming up, man. I assume you do, but, like, yeah, clones, I mean, they call them Echo Fighters now, but they're still basically clones, but yeah, I mean, it is a way to get more people in, like, you know, Daisy getting in for as Peach's clone, Dr. Mario getting in, because I just don't think these characters are unique enough to have their own slot. Like, Dr. Mario wouldn't be that unique from Mario or Daisy from Peach, so it makes sense that they're copies or clones of these other characters. But yeah, it gets worse in the other Smash games. They have, like, a lot more clones, and yeah, the FE characters got even worse in Ultimate, with, like, you know, Chrom, and then 3DS and Wii U had Robin and Lucina, and Roy came back, so yeah, I get that. I do hope that maybe the next Smash game could have less clones, and maybe if they are gonna have those characters come back, like Dr. Mario and Daisy, and who else, like Dark Pit, then give them their own movesets. That would really be cool. They probably won't. I think clones are going to always be a thing in Smash Bros. Just because, again, it allows for more people to come in that can't have their own unique moveset. So, I'm fine with it, but I get why people just aren't a huge fan of clones. But, honestly, in my opinion, I think clones are here to stay for the Smash Bros. Franchise. Being able to give yourself 5 lives in Classic/Adventure mode is cheap. So, you're not wrong, it is a little bit cheap, but again, you do have to realize that not everyone who plays Smash is a pro or a veteran, so I think this being an option for newer players is a good thing to have. Because again, you decide how many lives you have, right? So if you don't think you'll do good, then get those 5 lives. But if you want a challenge, and if you think you're good enough, then you can decrease those lives. So it's great that it gives you an option to at least do that, because again, I feel like a lot of newer players would want that 5 live option to, get a feel for the modes, and then once they, improve and get better, they can decrease the lives that they have and, like, get more of a challenge out of it. So I think it's fine that it's there. Like, yeah, it might be kind of cheap, but it's only cheap if you're a pro/veteran, right? Like, if you're a newcomer, it's fine if you use 5 lives at first, because again, you do want to get a feel for the mode by playing it once with all your lives enabled, and then once you get better, you can decrease those lives and give yourself more of a challenge. So it's fine that it's there. I'm not mad at it. Like, I will never do 5 lives because I'm good enough at the game already, but again, if you're a new player, like, put yourself in the mind of a new player. Like, I'm pretty sure they would want that to be an option because, they're a new player. They want to get, like, they want to have it easy at first, and then once they improve, then they can do the challenging part of it. So, yeah, I think it's a fine option. Why are Mewtwo's unlock requirements so insane? 750 versus matches or 20 combined hours of versus matches? Oh yeah, I forgot the requirements were kinda insane for unlocking people back in the old Smash days. Nowadays they're a lot more forgiving with, like, Ultimate having, like, what, 3 ways to unlock characters? Like, you got World of Light, Classic Mode, and then I think just plain matches. I don't remember, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of a thing with, like, older games, is that the requirements for unlocking anything were just kind of extreme here and there. So I don't blame Smash for following that route. I think nowadays, like, newer games tend to be a bit more forgiving with how you unlock characters and stages and just anything in that game. But yeah, Mewtwo was definitely one that people would point at when it comes to BS requirements, because that's a lot of matches or a lot of hours. Now, if you're smart like me, you left your game on overnight to increase your hours, which is kind of a bad idea for, like, not overheating your GameCube, but mine was fine. I have it right here. It's still intact, so I was good. I did that, and I unlocked it pretty easily, but if you don't do it that way, then have fun grinding out matches, because you're gonna have to for Mewtwo. But yeah, they were insane back in the day, so I'm very thankful that nowadays, and hopefully going forward, that the requirements for Smash Bros. Are not only diverse with, like, 3 or more options to unlock them, but also just a bit more forgiving, hopefully. Like the latter Smash Bros. Games, Melee should have given you the option to change the controls to your liking, rather than stick with the given controls that are given to you upon startup. Sure, that'd be nice. I think back in the day, button mapping just wasn't really a thing that Nintendo really cared about. Now they definitely do with the Switch era, and if you guys don't know, GameCube is on NSO, and also they do have button remapping, so if they put Melee on GameCube NSO, which they really should in the future before the next Smash game comes out, you can remap your buttons in that game, because I don't think the GameCube controller lets you remap buttons, like, in the system menu on Switch, but in the NSO app it does let you. So if that is a thing, then, put Melee on the NSO app, and there you go. You can remap your buttons to what you want. So that'll help people realize the dream that they probably had, like you had 20 years ago. So we'll see, that'd be great, but for me, yeah, button mapping just wasn't really a thing they cared about back in the day, and now they definitely do. So again, Melee, NSO, put it on there, and there you go, you got your button remapping. If you only play the game on 1 or 2 stages with no items and only have specific characters, you suck at the game. Hey now, let's not insult people like that, alright? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of Smash games have, like, only a couple people that, like, people tend to swap between. That's every Smash game, right? Like, I think every Smash game has, like, maybe 5 to 10 characters out of the whole roster that people just consistently use because how good they are. So, also this whole hot take reminds me of the whole 1v1 box only Final Destination no items meme from the Smash Melee days. Those were good times. I didn't own Melee back in the day, but I own it now, and I definitely know what people are talking about there. So, yeah, but I disagree here. I think it's fine to play as any character, any stage, and if you want to limit your scope as far as what you use and what stages you play on, that's fine. Again, every Smash player is different. Like, some like, using the whole roster when they can, and some like only using like 2 or 3 characters. That's fine, don't judge them for it. That's how they like to play. So, yeah, if you're someone who doesn't do that, good for you, but there are people who do use no items and only use specific characters, so that's just them. That's how they play, and it's not really fair to judge them for what they like to do in a Smash game. So, to each their own. Stop! Now she'll die a virgin. Stop! Stop it! Okay. Stop. Okay.
Stay the fuck
No,
in the
too
fucking
late.
car!
Oh, fuck! That was a sneak peek of all the content that you might be missing out on by not becoming a YouTube member. When you're a YouTube member, you get so much bonus content such as all my anime watch-throughs, classic content like old Twitch streams, movie watch-alongs, and more. So what are you waiting for? Hit the join button down below, pick the tier you want, and enjoy all the benefits that come with your YouTube membership. If you're already a member, thank you for your support, enjoy your benefits, and now let's get back into the video. It's a great game that I continue to love more as I play it competitively, but I wish the roster was more balanced so it's not mostly the same characters being used. So we kind of touched on this in the last hot take as far as like people only using a couple characters every Smash game, and competitively that is kind of a thing as well. Again, it's just some people are more easy to use than the other people in the roster, so it's kind of a thing with like any fighting game. Like not every character is going to be someone that people see as competitively good, so yeah, I mean, I don't think any roster in any fighting game is really, like, 100% perfectly balanced. Like, Ultimate is pretty good, and so is Melee to an extent. Well, maybe not Melee. I think probably Smash 4 and Ultimate are probably a lot more well-balanced. But even so, the roster is so big that not every character can be that well-balanced. So, some work better than others, some, you know, perform well on certain stages than other fighters do. So, yeah, I think it's kind of a tough ask to think that every character in any fighting game is going to be, you know, perfectly balanced with the rest of the roster, so I just think every fighting game is going to always have characters, like maybe like 5 or so, that are, you know, more competitively viable than others, because this is how every fighting game is technically, so yeah, I am not a competitive Smash player, so I can't touch too much on the competitive side of Smash. I do watch it, I've seen it, it is pretty good to watch, but I don't do it myself, so I can't really touch too much on that topic. But as far as the topic of just balanced rosters, I think Ultimate does a good job of balancing it enough, but I don't think any fighting game can ever have a perfectly balanced roster, at least in my opinion. Characters fall off the stage too fast, makes it rather hard to recover or even learn the ledge guard as a new player. Yeah, the speed is pretty fast in Melee, it is the fastest Smash Bros game compared to Brawl, which is like super duper slow. Like that jump from Melee to Brawl was great for the graphics and the amount of content, but the speed was pretty abysmal when you compare like Melee to Brawl, because the speed was so much slower in Brawl. And Smash 4 was kind of that way as well. I think Ultimate is fast enough. It's not quite to Melee, but it's definitely that perfect balance of like a little bit slower versus, and between like Melee's super fast gameplay. So for me, I thought it was fine. I enjoy Melee's fast gameplay. It's quick, it's snappy, it requires you to like really be on your feet when you're playing. So yeah, and honestly, the whole falling off thing, I don't think every character is like that, right? I think Bowser and the other heavy ones probably fall a lot slower. If you're metal, then yeah, you're gonna fall a lot quicker because you're metal, you know, that's kind of a given. But, I don't think that's too much of an issue, the whole falling off the stage too fast thing. I thought it was fine, but, ledge guarding, that could be an issue, but again, it's just, I think Melee speed is a good thing, but I see what you're saying here. That does make it so that, you know, staying in the match can be a bit harder than other Smash games, which have like slower gameplay and give you more, I guess, freedom to try to recover from like getting blown off the screen or something. But honestly, in my opinion, that makes Melee a lot more, you know, fun and competitive, because you really have to like, again, be on your feet and not get launched as often, and really judge like where you're jumping, where you're landing, where you're going, stuff like that. So yeah, I guess if you're not someone who likes that, then you'll not like Melee's fast gameplay, but for me, I thought it was pretty good. I wish that Smash Ultimate's legal stage selection was more akin to Melee. Melee actually had some really fun stages because we were willing to choose janky stages like Pokemon Stadium or Yoshi's Story. So again, I'm not a super competitive Smash Bros player, I play pretty casually. I have tried competitive Smash, like, you know, online competitive, I kind of suck at it. So I'm not the person to really answer like deep questions about the competitive Smash scene. As far as the illegal stage selection, I think Ultimate did a good job with, like, you know, making the 8-player ones especially, like, somewhat competitive based by adding the Omega and Battlefield forms. So those were cool, but, yeah, also Melee had less stages, so it's kind of easier to cherry pick, like, which ones to use, because Ultimate stage selection is so big now with the DLC. So, yeah, and again, Melee didn't have the option to do Omega, or did it? No, it didn't. It didn't have the option of doing Omega or Battlefield, so that's why Ultimate is probably a lot more fluid in that sense. But, yeah, Melee had some good ones. Ultimate got some good ones as well. I think Ultimate probably has the best go-around for having legal stages, but, yeah, again, not a competitive person, so I'm not the right person to ask for this, so if someone else does hot takes of this game, or, like, they're a competitive Smash player, then go ask them, because they can probably answer better than I can. But for me, I'm just like, sure, I don't really have an opinion here. I agree, disagree, whatever. Yeah, alright, we're moving on. A little overrated. I'd rank it probably my third favorite in the series. The series definitely wouldn't be where it is today if Melee didn't exist, but I don't think it's the best in the series like some fans claim. That is becoming a pretty common thing as far as like big and popular games from like the retro days. Like now people are just saying they're overrated, they're not as good as people say they are, and I'm kind of that way too. Like I think Mario 64 is not as good as people say it is. I've played it like 2 or 3 or 4 times at this point. It's still a good game, but it's not like the best Mario game as some might claim. So that can be applied to so many games from like the N64 era, the GameCube era, even like the DS era to an extent. Like they're still good games, but I think over time people just always tend to realize like, oh, you know what? They're good. Like it's a good game, but like, you know, it's not the best of its series. And I agree with Smash, right? Like Melee is my second favorite of the entire series. I think Ultimate is now my number 1 favorite. But I still think Melee does certain things better than Ultimate, right? Like, just because a certain game is not the best in its series to you, there might be things in that game that are better than the games that you would put above it, right? Like, Zelda, Mario, Pokemon. So yeah, I don't think Melee is overrated. Maybe just a little bit, but even so, like, Melee's still a fantastic game. And again, like you said here, I don't think Smash would be what it is without Melee. I guess 64, you know, it was the first game, so it kind of set the bar, but then Melee really raised it. And then Brawl, even though I like Brawl less than Melee, Brawl did introduce third-party characters, so that raised the bar for, like, you know, DLC, insane third-party picks like Cloud and Pac-Man and Sora. So, yeah, maybe Melee is a tad bit overrated, overappreciated, but it's still a fantastic game that deserves a lot of respect and praise for, you know, what it did for the Smash Bros. Franchise. The game's jank is part of the fun, and I love the visual style chosen for the game as a whole. It's a blend of the GameCube era and N64 era. That is a great way to put that, actually. I think the graphics do kind of hit that sort of middle ground between the old, like, early 3D 64 era versus the, you know, more polygons GameCube era. It's a great art style. I like it. Obviously, like, Brawl and the rest of them are better because, like, the better hardware. But Melee, I think the art style definitely still holds up, and the jank, I mean, the pros would probably agree. This game does maybe have some jank to it, like, you know, the faster speed and, like, all the competitive moves, like wave dashing and, what do you call it, L canceling, is that the same thing? What do you call it, what do you call it, the one where you jump in the air, it's like the backwards air something, I don't know. But, yeah, Melee, I think most GameCube games have some jank, but, like, they're kind of fun for that reason, right? Like Sunshine's got some jank. I love Sunshine. Double Dash has a bit of jank. Love Double Dash. That is just Nintendo, in my opinion. Like, even their, like, somewhat janky games can be some of their best games because the jank actually adds to the fun of it, which is kind of weird to think about. So, yeah, I agree the jank is part of the fun, in my opinion, and the visual style, I would say that's a good way to put it. It's a blend of the of that era plus the previous era, so yeah, really good points here. The intro movie is still one of the greatest game intros of all time, still perfection 20 plus years later. I could not agree more. I think this is not only the best intro in all the Smash Bros. Games, but maybe one of the best intros in any Nintendo game ever. From the moment you see that hand throw the trophy, from it to it coming to life, and you see all the characters and they're brawling each other, and just the music, it is a fantastic intro, and it honestly makes me feel lesser about Brawl, Smash 4, and Ultimate, because a lot of it is just random gameplay, right? Like, Smash 4 was just, you know, so random. Like, it's still an okay intro, but, like, Smash 4 was, like, very, very low effort. They barely even tried for that one. It was just random gameplay with every single character, and then Ultimate kind of continued that. It was better than in Ultimate with, like, the different scenes, but, Yeah, I don't know. Like, I would hope they go back to those days of just having these insane CG intros for their games, because like maybe the budget might be too high for them now. I don't know, but yeah, that intro was 10 out of 10, perfection. I loved it, and I hope that one day we get that era back where maybe the games aren't, you know, to the quality of some of these games in the past, but the intro movie like really sets the tone for what you're about to play. Because a lot of games nowadays either just go right to the title screen with like no intro movie, or it's just a really low effort intro movie. So maybe one day we'll go back to that. Maybe Smash, whatever it is, Smash 6, Smash for Switch 2, whatever it ends up being. Maybe that'll be where we get our big CG intro movie again, but I don't know. But yeah, this intro movie is perfection and I absolutely love it. Alright folks, that is it for your Smash Bros. Melee hot takes. And I'm sure, as always, that some of you watching this have a hot take for a future games. Make sure you guys are following the BC King Gaming Hot Takes Reddit page. Link is right here, or in the pinned comments. Sorry, make sure you guys go check that out. But in the meantime, make sure you guys subscribe, ring the bell, and smash that like button if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more of it. And I will, or sorry, more of them. Sorry, I can't talk today. But I will see you guys, as always, in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.